Yeah, I know what everybody's gonna say. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're sponsored by Jimmy John's. You're putting that ad in your freaking thing." I'm like, I wish I was sponsored by Jimmy John's. Okay. You know, it just occurred to me that there's like 4 different YouTubers that are going to be in this episode right now, which is kind of neat. It's a little bit different. I got to find a way to set this up. So this part right here is the part that A-Bomb79 machined for me on his channel. Yes, it is absolutely beautiful what he did. But the reason why I had him do it for me is something I kind of want to let you guys in on. So I'm expanding Weld Metals Online to have a motorsports fabrication division, and this part is kind of part of that for some prototype work. So I got a bunch of different parts and pieces that we're testing out currently, and you know, hopefully it's going to work out. Now, a lot of people have asked for business-related content on this channel, and I'm like, well, okay, maybe, but I don't really want to be a talking head just about business. So I'm like, well, let's see if we can kind of bring you guys in on it, kind of immerse you into it, and see what this is really all about, and share with you, you know, stuff like this. So we'll go put this together, see if it actually works, and you know, hopefully you enjoy it. So stick around if you want to see something like that. You should do that. Thanks. So, going to be kind of a crazy day today. I got so much stuff going on, but let me try to bring you up to speed on the motorsports fabrication stuff. So this is everything that I've never liked about using multiple manufacturers for certain things. So one of these, hose barbs, right? So imagine having multiple sizes to choose from, and they're all the same continuity, if you will, right? So 1.25" size, drill an 1.25" hole. That's, you know exactly what size to work with, all made in USA. You know, high quality stuff. That's what I'm chasing down right now, is all the stuff that's hard to find or have consistency with. Now, if you want to see, actually, this is kind of a cool thing. Art by Adrock, which is Adam holding the camera right now, his latest YouTube video where he melted down all of my fittings that I screwed up on, combined them with copper, made aluminum bronze, and a really awesome Freddy Krueger shadow box plaque, whatever. That's super cool. You got to check that one out. So yeah, there's like little hidden gems of everything, but this is some of the stuff that we're doing, and then the other stuff, well, I'll show you that. Another part that I want to offer, a very simple one, is universal polyurethane bushings. So if you want to build a 4-link, a control arm, you need a mount for something, that's where you get polyurethane bushing kits in. So I want to offer these in a bunch of different sizes, so including metric hardware, because the things that always made me mad is you can only get like one size, one width, or it's just too big of a pain in the butt to trim them down, or if it's not the right size bolt, you got to figure out how to modify your part for it, you know, stuff like that. So initially, I bought some polyurethane rod stock. And I was like, all right, we'll chuck it up into the lathe, figure out how to bleep and bloop my way through a program, and you know, we'll knock this out. That didn't work. So I soon found out, after spending all that money, that you can't easily machine polyurethane. Now there's some hacks, like putting it in the freezer and then, you know, chucking it up in the lathe, but for production, you know, making thousands of these things, that's just not practical. It's not going to work. There's zero efficiency in that. And then the best I could do after all my failures, like if this thing's just falling apart, the best I could do was still not good enough. Right? Could it work? Yeah. But would I be happy selling it or proud to put my name on it? Absolutely not. So I had to quickly abandon that idea of using them in the lathe. So the next obvious thing, or the next best way to do this, would be to try to inject it. So if I can do a prototype of an injection process or method, then that might work and we can just scale it. So I reached out to A-Bomb79 and I said, hey, can you make this part? I modeled it up and sent it to him, and he says, yeah, I can do that, no problem. So he machined this piece out for me, and just before we have to go to lunch and meet up with Garage Fab for something else, we're gonna see if we can get this working. Now, when it comes to new parts or prototyping stuff, there's a little bit of that business side of it, right? You got to establish a budget. You got to say, okay, this is how much I'm going to spend, and that's it, just to find out, because you don't want to keep pumping money into something that's not going to work. So I'm already out the money for that polyurethane rod stock. That kind of chipped away on my budget. This ate a lot of my budget, but you know, still kind of worth it. So I'm obviously not in prototyping stages going to go out and buy the most expensive polyurethane, you know, in bulk. I've already you know, arranged with some manufacturers and suppliers to, you know, have an account with them and everything else like that. But for right now, I'm just going to use some cheap stuff, you know, Amazon special, if you will, just to see if it actually works. These are equal parts, part A, part B, right? So I've measured it out in Onshape. I measured the volume of the cavity itself of the bushing housing, and it's about 60 milliliters. So we got a 60 mil syringe, makes it a lot easier to kind of sight this out. And then that converts to roughly 30 grams a piece in liquid. So we have about 60 milliliters, about 60 grams worth of stuff. So here we go. 30 of these things. Oh shoot. 31 of these things. So that'll make what, 62 of these. You know what this reminds me? This is going to be like the gas pump. You know, when you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I'm only going to put 50 bucks in. And you just slowly click your way up, and then before you know it, 50.01. 2 more. Oh, I know, we went way over. So 60, we'll go to 70 something. What sucks, I only have like 3 minutes here, so I don't really have time to play around here. So we're just gonna go way over and hope for the best. Oh, there's a lot of bubbles in there. Feeling this is going to be like Bubble City here. Maybe we can just tap it around, see if we can do something. Scoop some off the top. Try to clean this up the best I can here. It's kind of getting a little bit tacky. So I'm going to let that lay up, just do its thing. It only takes 15 minutes to release it from the mold. So while that's going on, I've got to get some more plates cut. If you didn't know, weldmetalsonline.com. We sell pipe and plate for weld testing, and this stuff I can never keep on the shelf. I mean, and one of my guys today has diarrhea, so looks like it's up to me. Recently, like here's some of that business stuff, right? This saw like runs non-stop, and one of the blades just recently snapped, which is usually unexpected when it happens. It broke at the weld. I tried to fix it, but I couldn't. I got a blade welder on that machine, but it's too small for this size of blade. So had to overnight some more of them, and that's like, well, there's another $300 and some odd you didn't want to spend it, you had to. And with it being down for like 2 or 3 days, that means that we got a pretty significant back order, which I don't like it when that happens. So we'll let those run. It's about lunchtime. I'm gonna go meet up with Aaron, so let's get that going. I'm working with a tool company, Ingersoll Rand. They sent out some of their new cordless stuff, and I'm really excited to play around with it. I don't have any deals or anything with them yet. They just sent some stuff for testing. And since I like to get a little bit more thorough on testing equipment, other than just me playing around with it, saying, oh, this is great, which I love it already, but I like to give it to people that are going to use it. So Aaron, Garage Fab, he's a professional mechanic during the daytime, and I gave him the little 3/8 drive impact that I got. And I said, hey, play with this for a while, give me some sort of review if you like it, whatever. Let me, give me some real world info that I can pass along. So that's what we're doing. And since Jimmy John's just released the pickle sandwich, which is really good, I promised him I'd bring him one for lunch. So we're gonna go hang out there for probably an hour or so and play around and get my tool back, because I've got to use it now.
Have a seat. Oh, thank you so very much. What? Why do you want to sit down? Did you just bring me food? Or,
Yeah. No,
or is there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, pickle.
I'm excited. I don't know why I was expecting bigger since it's just a pickle, but
You know, every time I give somebody a pickle, they say the same thing.
What'd you say? Did I use it?
Yeah, it's not even dirty.
I told you I cleaned it already.
Oh,
I couldn't clean out the scratched it.
you couldn't buff that out?
What?
Oh, I should give you the sander polisher and we'll buff that out. You got a little, that little one that goes with it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you buff that out.
All right. Bring it over. This is ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Look at it compared to the other ones.
Oh, you mean size-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, look how fast it is.
How fast it is?
Yeah.
I didn't even have to charge it, so
Oh.
I don't know how fast
I
it
can
is.
reassure you it's very quick. And it beeps too.
What do you mean?
Well, it tells you when it's done, and when you put it on, it beeps at you. It's like a notification.
Neat. You need to be that big to beep?
Remember that one time you were checking the organization of my shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yours is good.
I'm like, wait, what? What am I missing?
No, I asked him to come over one day to help me out for on my little Lancer. And when he gets there, he goes through my toolbox and he starts organizing all of it. It's like, I didn't call you over to do this. I mean, it's really okay. He's like, no, I gotta get it done. Can't work this way. These horrible conditions.
Bye. Bye.
I don't know what's going on Sunday. If we're actually doing, I haven't been able to go to breakfast in a while, so.
At least you haven't called.
We've been so friggin' busy,
I
so.
don't like us anymore.
Yeah, I know what everybody's gonna say. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're sponsored by Jimmy John's. You're putting that ad in your freaking thing." I'm like, I wish I was sponsored by Jimmy John's. You guys get so sensitive over sponsorships. I'm not sponsored by Jimmy John's. That was a good ass sandwich. He says he never even used the batteries. Yeah, he never used the charger. This one's still full, and this one's only dropped 1 bar, and he's had it for. Since I went to FabTech, that was what, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. That's the real world stuff that I love to show. So yeah, hopefully we'll get more from Ingersoll Rand later. I can't show you the rest of it. How am I looking? Beauty. Schwing. Is it sharp? Okay. It's definitely been more than 15 minutes. Okay. It's crazy, it's still a little bit warm. It sunk in a little bit, I can see that. Okay. Now, magic question. Is it gonna get stuck? It's not spinning. Oh, wait, there it goes. Pretty tough stuff. Let me see if I get something to bop it out over with. Maybe I can just. There we go. Look at that. Come on. Oh, we got some bubbles. We got some bubbles. That's some flash. Look at the tolerance on that, okay? So for a liquid to spill through there in just this small amount, and it just peels off the top, like that's a total shout out right there to A-Bomb 79, man. Like the precise fit that this thing got, like I don't really think he showed that. I mean, it is so tightly fit and so beautifully fit that there, like nothing leaked through this, right? But yeah, we've got some issues here. We got bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. That simply will not work. So let's try fitting it into a housing. Check tolerance here. So that's pretty tight. It's got to be like almost perfectly straight. Which, you see how it's kind of crooked right now? It's like you got to get it just right. Which I'm not going to press it all the way in there because then I got to find a way to get it all out of there. But that tight of a fit up is actually a really good thing. If you've ever dealt with bushings before and you've realized that you can like, oh, you just, pop it in with your hand, no problem. You probably don't think it's that big of a deal, but when you're driving down the road and it feels like you're steering a dead fish, it's because of that. You need a really, really tight fit up. So when we pop this in here and then we get the sleeve through there, it should be super friggin' tight. Like you would need a hammer or a small press or something to put these together. That's exactly what I want. So far we've got that. These little bits here, these can be just trimmed off in the final step or whatever before prep, but these bubbles are a big problem right now. I cannot sell something like that. So I think what we need to do is pour this again and see if I can find a better way to get the bubbles out. Maybe a little more taps or something, I don't know. Let's get the mold cleaned up and we'll do this again. All right, I got the mold already sprayed. It's setting up with the mold release. So we're gonna go, I'm using the same cup here, so I hope that doesn't affect anything. So the air bubbles last time was kind of a problem. I didn't shake them so vigorously this time, so. Yeah, some are coming out. Okay. Here goes. That's how the doctors do it, right? Right before you get the peanut butter shot. You remember that, Adam?
Yeah.
I told them I was allergic to penicillin, or I was like, I don't know if I'm allergic or not. So they were like, okay, go stand in that line. And then I got a bottle full of giant pills instead of the peanut butter shot. I was like, yeah, outsmart them. Okay. So I'm moving this around just a little bit more because I can see more bubbles wanting to kind of come out. So I move it this way, that way, kind of let them work their way out. Yeah, I think I see some more coming out of it. Maybe if I rotate the top, we'll go round and round on it, and that'll let the bubbles pop out. And as I'm going through this, this is a very inefficient process anyway, so you know it's already not looking good, but hey, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. We'll check it out. While this is curing now, I gotta go take care of some shipping real quick because you know we don't just sit around and waste time. We get stuff done. Go into there's gonna be so much tape on this. Nobody's even gonna see that stamp. So this is kind of one of those things like I always want to bring up to people because not a lot of people really understand how owning business really works. It's, you know, the job has to get done no matter what. So you'll hire people to do the job, but you still got to do it if they don't show up. So like the big misconception is, oh yeah, you're a business owner, so you're gonna be sitting there, you know, in your chair all day long with your feet up on the desk, lighting cigars with $100 bills while everybody does the work for you. And yeah, there's there are some businesses like that, but it's never been a business that I've ever owned. When stuff needs to get done, you have to get it done. There's no way around it. So if the people that you have under your employment don't show up, or if they quit, or, you know, unfortunately, if you have to let one go or something like that, you have to be the one that does the work. It's a lot of plates. Ever since we launched Pipe and Plate, it's so hard to keep these things on the shelf anymore. I mean, they move. We've got distributors that stock them. We've got, you know, students want to use them. Schools need to use them. I mean, they're everywhere. And yeah, maybe a shameless plug. If you own a welding store, like a brick and mortar store, and you're looking for a little more foot traffic, stock welding coupons. We'll definitely send them your way. Because something like when somebody's got like a weld test like the next day or something like that, sometimes we can't get it to them fast enough. They'd want to just walk into a store somewhere local to them, pick up the thing, and then, you know, go test with it. So, and if you've got a school, we have a really good school program too. I know I'm just plugging my own stuff here, but why not? Right now, UPS is broken. It won't connect with Shopify, and both of them are blaming each other, and it's ridiculous. So we have to do manual shipping labels. It's like when one thing goes wrong, like the blade busted, put me on a significant back order, we catch it all back up, and now I can't even ship something. Like this order is over a week old. It's embarrassing to begin with, but it's like, you know, all these things that are just like jumping in your way as you're trying to get through the day. Like, how do you stop yourself from just exploding in anger? You know, but you can't. You just got to look at it a different way and say, all right, well, hey, that's happening. Nothing I can do about it. See if we can move on to something else. You know, that's the way it works. Yeah, I think it's about the same. Still a little warm, a little warmer than the last one, obviously. Well, I mean, what was that, like an hour and change? Okay, we're spinning. Let's give it an old bop bop. There we go. I like this. Okay, that's a little better. Got some flash in there, no problem. Just comes right out. See look how smooth that is.
Purdy.
There we go. Ah, we're bubbled up again. Yeah, similar story here. Yeah, that sucks because these come out like really nice, but I kind of have to be honest with myself here. This is super inefficient, okay? Now, if it's like one or two of them, no problem. This is pretty cool. You know, you just make one every now and again, but I can't get repeatable results, which is a bad thing, because I'm not going to sell anything that has holes in it, or if I know it's got bubbles or whatever the case is, I can't do that. This hand layup method, I mean, think about this. If I got to do one syringe per bushing, there's going to be no money in it. It's going to cost more to produce these than we'll ever make selling them. And two, waiting, or what, that's 3 now, but waiting, you know, 15 minutes per bushing, we're only going to get so many done in one day. It's very, very impractical. So, you know, if I've got to produce thousands of these things, this is not going to be the way to do it. So I have to think of something else now again. So I'm just going to say it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is, you know? I was thinking about it for a little bit. I mean, this is just completely impractical for me to use that injection mold, or for this process, right? The other alternative to that is to obviously go buy an injection molding machine, but you know, I don't have several $100,000 just to see if maybe this will sell or not, right? So that's out of the question. The next best thing that I could do that I know that's going to work is to use Delrin. So kind of want your guys' feedback on this one. One, do you want to see more content like this, right? Is this suitable? Or if you want to see more, you know, let me know. Second thing, would you be interested in Delrin bushings as opposed to polyurethane? Some people are against it, some people like it, etc. And then 3, you know, if you want to see more of what we're trying to put together, launch, release, etc., you know, you just let me know. This episode's kind of different, I know, but you know, still, it's really awesome. It's fun doing stuff like this to actually see what I do, because I don't really build cars much anymore, you know. So anyway, it's time for me to go. End of the day, so got to go chill or get some more work done. Make sure you check out ABomb79's videos. I'll have them linked below. Art from AdRock will have that linked below, and of course, you guys know Garage Fab, so always give him a shout out, like whatever the case is, follow his stuff. Thank you guys so much. Look forward to see what you got to say. See you on the next episode. Have fun.